every day is an adventure. Like I never experienced anything like this, but I'm also coming from a small city. We're from Rochester, New York, which is near Buffalo, New York. So it's literally nothing to do in Rochester. So to come here is just like mind blowing that to have all these opportunities. Like they have malls that have movie theaters in them. You know, you can go zip lining in them. They have, you know, kids areas. You can go bowling in them in the malls. You can go to a safari here. Go karting. Is anything you could think of, you can pretty much do here. Like they have so many different things you can do, and it's something for everybody. Like whether you're a club person, which we're not, um, but we're family orientated, so there's plenty of things to do with kids. There's plenty of things to do if you just want to get good food, just want to relax. If you want to go to the beach, you can get on the train. It's good, YouTube, brother Derek checking in with another video. Hope everybody's doing well. Welcome back to my other channel for another episode, or another video I should say. And I'm basically just going to be talking about the thing that I love about Nairobi. Now if you clicked on this video, I'm sure you had some interest about Nairobi, and you've probably been hearing about so many people from different countries going to Nairobi, Kenya, and Africa just to explore. And if you've been watching some of my videos, you'll know that me and my wife been here. We came here to get some time out of the U.S. We've been in the U.S. our whole lives, so we just kind of been wanting to take this trip for a long time, and it's something that's been overdue. So we felt like this would be a good time to get out of the U.S., especially with everything going on. Now Donald Trump is in office, and if you're in the U.S., you know all the problem that's coming with, you know, him now being in office. But it is what it is. But we were able to escape. We've been here since December 6th, and we'll be here until the end of February. So far right now to today, well, today is February 4th. What is today? February 4th. Double check. Nope, sorry, February 3rd. So we've been here for a good amount of days, going on 2 months, and you know, just gonna give you guys the things that I love about Nairobi. And the first thing I'll say that I love about Nairobi is the weather. Like right now, I'm outside right now. Weather's about 76 degrees, and it's just always pretty much the perfect weather. It's never too hot, it's never too cold. It rarely rains here, and when it does rain, it just rains really hard, and it's usually that's it. But we caught maybe, since we've been here, we had maybe 2 full weeks of rain, I would say, in total. Like last week it rained like every day for the whole week, and then I think before that it did something similar, but it doesn't rain that much. And sometimes it even says in the forecast it's going to rain. It doesn't rain at all, so you might just, you know, say you might have some outdoor activities planned. You might just decide, hey, you know, it's supposed to rain today, I'm not going to do nothing, and it actually doesn't rain at all. And you know, so the weather is perfect. It's usually between 80s, like 70s and 80s. Like since we've been here, that's what we experienced. So the weather is perfect. So that's number one. Number two, the number two thing I love about Nairobi is the people. We met so many nice people here. Everybody's pretty friendly, very helpful. And if you're African American, most people look like you. Now there are some foreigners here, like you know, there's some Indian people here, some white people here. I've seen a fair share of Chinese people or Asian people, but overall, you will be welcomed by people that look like you. If you're black, African American, everybody is friendly, helpful. We haven't had any issues with people. We've met some great people here. We just went bowling with someone that we met in a vegan group because we're vegan, so we met some people in that group, and we went bowling with them. We're meeting with some investors tomorrow that are from I don't know if they're from the US or the UK, but we're in some investment groups that we're going to be meeting with some people that are looking into investments here. So there's investment opportunities here as well, which is another thing I love about Nairobi, is there are opportunities to invest in real estate. And I'll do a video on that as well. I got a video coming where we looked at some investment properties, so I'll show you guys what you can do, some investments you can make while you're here. So yeah, the people are great. It's way better than anything I ever experienced, especially in the U.S. If you're from the U.S., you know that unless you're down south, you know, most people are, you know, nobody's really speaking to people. Nobody's really nobody really cares to help you, but I notice people really care about people here. Like, it's just a different level of respect and care for people here. But it's not perfect. I'm not gonna say everybody is, you know, looking out for you and gotta make sure that you're okay or anything like that. But most people that we experience care, and I also think that's a case by case basis because, you know, we are caring people. So I just believe in that reciprocal energy that you put out. That if you put out good energy, good caring energy, you get that back. So that's what me and my wife are. We're good caring people. So I believe that that's why we get that back as well. So um, the other thing that I love about Nairobi is the activities. It is abundance of activities to do here. There is so many things you can do. We've been here for 2 months almost, and I feel like we're not gonna have time to do everything that we wanted to do here because there's so much to do every day. It's an adventure like I never experienced anything like this. But I'm also coming from a small city. We're from Rochester, New York, which is near Buffalo, New York. So it's literally nothing to do in Rochester. So to come here is just like mind blowing that to have all these opportunities. Like they have malls that have movie theaters in them. You can go zip lining in them. They have kids areas. You can go bowling in them in the malls. You can go to a safari here. Go karting. Is anything you could think of, you can pretty much do here. Like they have so many different things you can do, and it's something for everybody. Like whether you're a club person, which we're not, but we're family orientated. So there's plenty of things to do with kids. There's plenty of things to do if you just want to get good food, just want to relax. If you want to go to the beach, you can get on the train or take a plane to Mombasa. You can go to the beach there, which is hour and a half flight, 6 hour train ride. Literally something to do every day. There's several things to do every day. So activities, beautiful. Always something to do. The other thing that I love about Nairobi is the food and the food prices. I do wish there were more vegan options because me and my wife are vegan, but we found a great vegan restaurant and the prices are a lot cheaper than they would be at home. So that we do appreciate. We go to something called the organic farmers market where we can get fresh produce that is organic, that doesn't have any pesticides and all that in it. So we're able to get like mangoes are like 30 cents, 80 cents. Back home, mangoes are like $6 for like 3. Avocados are like 80 cents. Back home, it's like $8 for 3 organic avocados. And we always try to eat organic because back in the U.S., they're putting pesticides and all kinds of stuff in the food. The food's GMO, so we try to eat organic and we try to just eat as healthy as we can. And that's very easy and affordable to do here versus back in the U.S. It's very, very expensive for no reason. And I guess that may be because some of this food is imported, but still those prices are ridiculous. Like avocado shouldn't be $8 for 3 of them. It's like, come on. So just the food prices are great here. We've been eating good. We've been enjoying healthy foods. We've been able to get all kinds of foods that a lot of foods we even can get at home. We just get cheaper here. They have grocery stores, so don't let people think that they don't have markets here for you to go grocery shopping. You don't have to always go to the farmer's market or go out to a market to get fruits and vegetables. You can actually go to a grocery store, get a cart, pay at a register, get rang up just like Walmart, Wegmans, Whole Foods. They have grocery stores here, so the food is a lot cheaper, and a lot of it is actually made in Kenya. So you can buy food, groceries, and things like that are actually produced, packaged, and grown in Kenya and sold in a Kenyan grocery store. So that's pretty cool. We like that. So the other thing that I love about Nairobi is the safety. I will say it's pretty safe here. We haven't had any issues. Of course, you have to be careful, be mindful, because it is a lot of people here. So, things happen when there's a lot of people. When there's a high population, there aren't, that happens everywhere. But overall, we feel like 100 times safer than we did in the U.S. I mean, because They do multiple checks here. If you go to the mall or any, usually public area, you get checked. You go through a scanner. Um, Guns are illegal here, so you can't have guns here. So, um, and they just have just they just take the time to make sure that you feel safe. You will, like I said, you will get checked, but that's a good thing. You should be checked. Everybody should be checked because that's how we eliminate a lot of issues that we have in the U.S. But in the U.S., for some reason, they're not putting protocols in place to keep people safe. They just something happens, and they just we don't want it to happen again, but they don't do anything to make sure that doesn't happen. They just keep keep things how they are. But here they're proactive. If something happened, they put protocols and things and procedures in place to make sure we don't want that to happen again. So we're going to check people, and this happens. So we don't want that to happen again. We're going to put metal detectors and things in place. So they're very proactive. I like that. So it's a lot safer here. We felt very safe. Um, the other thing I really like about Nairobi, Kenya is, I meant love. I love about Nairobi, Kenya is the focus on kids. Like they love kids here. Like we came here with our 18-month daughter, and you would think she was Beyonce's child or something. Like everybody loves our daughter. They always trying to speak to her and wave to her on the elevator or wherever we go. They try to make her smile. Um, when we're at restaurants, people want to hold her, like the waitresses and stuff like that. Like they really love kids, and it's very different than what we're used to in the U.S. Because in the U.S., at least for Black people, from my point of view, we don't really interact with other people's kids just because there's been scenarios in the U.S. constantly where kids are getting abducted, they're getting tampered with, which is messed with sexually. Just things are being done to kids in the U.S. So from my understanding around my people, how my family and people that I know are brought up, you don't really mess with other people's kids. You don't really discipline them. You don't touch them. You don't really, you just kids are off limits. You don't really deal with other people's kids unless you know them personally, unless they're a relative or something along those lines. But here they love kids. They put emphasis on kids. Every time we go to a mall, there's a kids area. When we stay at Airbnbs, they have kid designated areas that have slides, little ball areas like at Chuck E. Cheese, and sometimes these places are free. There's playgrounds in a lot of these Airbnbs. I've never seen that before. We've traveled to Atlanta, D.C., different parts of Florida. We stay at Airbnbs often. We don't see that. I've never seen a kids area in any mall that I've been to, as far as like a Chuck E. Cheese type of thing. Those are always separate, places that you have to go to outside of the mall. I never seen that inside of a mall. I never seen that kids area inside of a Airbnb. Like that is something that is totally new, but I do love that. I appreciate that, and I think that's great that they put emphasis on the kids. They really, really love the kids. So I wish the U.S. would adopt some of these things, but it is what it is. So the other thing that I love, and and I and this is like a preference thing, because some people may not love it, but I love that they do speak English here, and some people that come here may not speak English. That's why I say it's a preference thing. But I love that they speak English here, just because me and my wife are learning Swahili, and we are getting better. And I do personally feel like all Black people, we should learn to speak Swahili. That's a native African language. But growing up in the U.S., I never even knew what Swahili was until a couple years ago, and of course now coming here, so I see the importance of it. But coming here and trying to navigate, if they didn't speak English, that would be very challenging, because we don't speak Swahili fluently yet. We speak it okay, from a very intermediate level. At least for me, my wife is a lot better than me, but we're still learning, and we will get there. But just coming here for the first time, it's good to be able to deal with people that speak English. It allows us to get around, to get things that we need. There's no language barrier, because when we went to Arusha, that was a little bit of a challenge, and I'll make a video on that at another time. But they speak English, and that's a good thing. It's not always easy to understand, but we're able to work together and find a middle ground with the English with some people that don't speak it that well. But most people at least understand what you're trying to tell them, and they understand what you need or what you're looking for. So that I do appreciate and love about Nairobi, and that it's also just a mixture of people here. So I think that makes it easier for them to learn English. Is that there's people coming from everywhere, and most people speak English, whether they're coming from different countries. Usually English is a widely spoken language. The other thing that I love about Nairobi is the ease of getting around, because this is a very big city. I've been trying to, when I speak to family and friends, I try to explain to people, in my opinion, what Nairobi is like. And I feel like Nairobi is like New York City mixed with Atlanta that looks like Florida. So it's busy like New York City to an extent. Like there's so many people moving around, walking around, there's so much traffic. But it looks like Florida. Like the houses look like they could be somewhere in Florida. But it's mainly black people. It's majority, everybody here is black. So it's like Atlanta. So that's the best way I can put it. But it's very easy to get around. They have Uber here. They have something called Boat, which is similar to Uber. And then we met with a friend that's local here, and he told us about another platform called Little. So they have multiple platforms that you can use to get around, and it's very affordable. Boat, average I'm spending is like $3 to $5 USD just to go maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and that's unheard of back in the US. Like I used to get charged at least $12 to $15 just for a 12-minute ride, because let's say I'm dropping my car off to the shop, and my wife is home with the baby. I don't want her to get get the baby up real early just to pick me up from the shop. I'll take an Uber back home. That's like $15, $12 just to get 12 minutes away. So the prices are a lot different, a lot cheaper, and it's a lot easier to get around. That's a big part of their economy here is Uber and Lyft. Uber and Boat here. So I like that. It's easy to get around, and they're usually don't take too long to get to you. So I do like that. So the ease of getting around is definitely something I love about being in Nairobi. The other thing I love about Nairobi is the buildings, the views. I love skylines. I love seeing the lights at night. I love the skylines. Like anytime we go to a city, a new city, I always take pictures of the skyline. Cleveland got a beautiful skyline. Atlanta has a beautiful skyline, but Nairobi has one of the most beautiful skylines I have seen. And when we go to the rooftop of our Airbnb, it's like everywhere I look, it's lights, it's buildings. It's just like New York City in a sense. It's one of the most beautiful skylines. There's a lot of buildings around, so it's very nice, very developed. So it's always something to see. You'll get some of the best pictures and views if you have a rooftop on your Airbnb, or if you can just go to one of those restaurants that have a rooftop. You'll get some beautiful pictures that you'll want to show everybody and keep forever. So I love that. Other thing I love about Nairobi is just the peace, and I think that just comes from being in Africa, being in a country that is majority black people that look like me. I just feel the peace. I don't have to worry about racism here. I don't have to worry about being judged or from my color of my skin, or having to worry about somebody being scared of me because of the color of my skin, because everybody looks like me. So if you're scared of me, you're scared of yourself. So I love that about being here, just the peace that I feel, because I don't feel that peace back home. Police don't look like me. A lot of the people that I'm dealing with on a daily basis don't necessarily look like me, as far as like going to the store or on the billboards, or when I need a lawyer, or if I'm looking, for a doctor. It's hard to find that back where I am, but I know you can find that in Georgia and maybe Houston and more predominantly black cities. But here in Nairobi, you ain't got no choice. I'm sure there are some white doctors or Asian doctors here, but majority of what you are looking for, or wherever you go, you're gonna see a black person, You know, you're gonna see black people. We here. This is Africa. So I believe that's where the peace is coming from, and I love that. I love the peace. I think anybody that's that's Black African American, you need to come here, experience that peace, experience what that's like. And the final thing I love about Nairobi, and there's plenty other things I can say, but I didn't want to make this video too long, is I love that you can get help here, because back in the U.S. We are taught and raised that we take care of our own families. It's just your mom, dad, and maybe your grandma might help you, but other than that, you take care of your own house. You don't need no help. You independent. We're not family oriented as far as like we don't come together to help with family tasks around the house. It's just it's your household, you gotta take care of it. Your aunt got her household, she gotta take care of it. But here you can get help, you can get nannies, you can get housekeepers, which they call dadas, you can get drivers that will drive you around, and they're at affordable prices, so you can get help. Here it's more accepted to have someone helping you around the house with the kids, with the dishes, with food, with cooking, cleaning. Those things are more accepted versus in the U.S. Unless you're rich, you don't have a nanny. Unless you're rich in the U.S., you don't have a driver, a housekeeper. You doing all that stuff. So when we go back to the U.S., it's gonna be back. It's back to how it was. I mean, we don't have a nanny now, but the fact that we can get one is, it's just something that we really love the idea of, because we, just having one child. If y'all have kids or had kids, that it's, even with two people, it's still not enough. So we can get some extra help, nanny, housekeeper, driver, anything, we would take it. So this video was helpful to y'all. I hope you guys got some good information from me. And this is just my opinion, so y'all don't get at me in the comments too bad if this is just my personal opinion on it. I'm from a small city in Rochester, New York, so a lot of these things we don't have. So a lot of this stuff is just a lot different to me, but I love these things. So it may not be anything to you, but it's the world to me, to us. So appreciate y'all watching the video. I'll be doing some more videos soon, so I'll see you on the next one. Peace.